people, what's up? Welcome to this newest episode of High Heels of Bitcoin series. My guest today is Kiana Danial. Kiana is the CEO of Diva. She educates people about investments, about crypto, but let's waste no more time. She will better introduce herself. So thumbs up and let's go.
Hey, my name is Kiana Danial. I'm the founder and CEO of the Diva movement and investdiva.com. And I started this business actually 7 years ago with the mission to help women start investing. And then I got a little bit distracted. We got into so many different things because this is a very male-dominated field. So I kept getting male students, which is awesome. They're like awesome people. But I also started getting into so many different weird things. I started getting into Forex, then I got to crypto. But what I truly am is a personal financial planner and an personal investing planner. And so all the books that I've written before, they're awesome. But right now I'm trying to focus really on helping families create a perfect investment portfolio, which may or may not actually include cryptocurrency, depending on your risk tolerance. I love cryptocurrencies. My portfolio has a massive chunk of it in crypto. But what I really help people with is creating that perfect portfolio, starting it and starting to manage it and adding the assets based on where they stand today financially and where they want to go and what their risk tolerance really is.
All right, I have prepared a couple of questions for you. But first, let me tell you that I have read your bio, and to be honest, I am really impressed because it's like 3 books, right? And
Yeah.
you have been mentioned on Wall Street Journal and Time magazine and things like that. For me, it's like, oh my God. And I'm sitting on the other side of the screen talking to you, so really
No, I mean that's the thing. Like everything that I do, even like going on the media, which is thanks to obviously my team who are able to put me there, is just to get the word around so that people understand and get empowered. So I mean, it's just about, being involved with everyone who wants to learn and educating. So that's my goal.
Yeah, right. So your main goal is education, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. And before I ask about crypto, I wanted to ask about your other things, so like investments. And before you heard about the crypto, so you started like a market, traditional market, and then Forex, right?
So it's actually kind of weird. My background has nothing to do with finance. I didn't know a thing about investing or trading or finance. And then in 2008, I'm not going to tell you what happened, but it's just randomly, I made a bet against the US dollar. I was living in Japan at the time, right? And I didn't know anything about what's happening, but I just happened to see that the US dollar is dropping. You remember in 2008, everything was dropping, so was the US dollar. The Japanese yen was gaining strength. So one of my friends helped me put a trade in foreign exchange. And so I shorted the dollar yen pair in August 2008. And within a month, I doubled my money. I made $10,000 without knowing like literally anything about finance or investing or no. And it was crazy because I obviously got lucky. I didn't do any sort of risk management. It just like one trader, like, oh my God, this is cool. So that's how I got into it. Then I was like, okay, investing is cool. I want to like know more about it. I want to do it, but I'm scared because I just it sounded super intimidating, and I was like, I don't know how to do math. I don't know any of these things. So I gave my money to a money manager it was just horrible. Like they locked my money up, they charged me a ton of commission fees, and they completely screwed up the markets, and it was like not good. So then I decided, I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go to Wall Street. I'm gonna learn this my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. So that's when it started. Then I went to Wall Street. I got a job there, and I started working on Wall Street firms. And then I learned more about traditional finance and investing and personal financial manager. And that is when I learned about all these traders who are losing money because they don't know how to do risk management. So then I became passionate about helping people to do it themselves, because I was able to do it myself even without knowing anything about it. I eventually, after educating myself, was able to do it. It was like, okay, this is not that hard, but you just have to have some foundation. So that's how Invest Diva started, that I started teaching specifically parents how to do it for their families.
Yeah, some people still believe that the dollar is backed by gold, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even the worst thing. Okay, you think dollar is backed by gold or oil or whatever, but I mean, it's just people like there are some like really basic stuff that people don't know, and they're scared to even know. Even if they give their money to their money manager, they're scared of asking, okay, what's the deal? What's the return? Like, they don't know what to ask. What's the commission? How much is it? So all these things, all these questions they need to be asking in order to invest properly. And when it comes to crypto, so that's another funny, and I know I'm just ranting on right now, but I was the biggest critic of crypto back in the day. I didn't want to get into it for a long time.
Yeah, so when when was it?
So, so in 2011, one of my friends, investing friends in Switzerland, told me, "Hey, Kiana, buy Bitcoin." I'm like, "Nope, nope, that's too risky." So in 2016, and so throughout the years, my students kept asking me about it. I'm like, I don't know. You go to somebody else. I don't know. I just stick to what I do. And then finally, 2016, super late, but it was before the boom. A company in the UK asked me to do research analysis for them about crypto and blockchain. It's called News BTC. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about it. They're like, yeah, why don't you do it anyway? I'm like, okay. So I just started, again, learning about it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, why haven't I been doing this? So that's how I got into it.
So now when you know what you know, do you consider not investing in 2011 one of your biggest mistakes?
Yeah, but you know what? It obviously was. I kicked myself a lot after I learned about it. But you know what? At that time, I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
I guess I'm
right.
trying to spin the positive on it, but it was not a mistake. It was just, what my mistake was? My mistake was not actually learning about it. So I think it was right that I said no, because I didn't know about it, because you shouldn't invest in things that you don't know about just because somebody tells you. So I think that was the right decision. But the fact that I just didn't take it upon myself to really read about it and educate myself about it before saying no, I think that was the mistake. And that's really the reason why I wrote this book, the Cryptocurrency Investing for Dummies book, so that people who are just saying no because they don't know about it, and they're right, they're scared, they at least have the education. Then they can decide, okay, I'm not going to invest in it. That is the better kind of decision.
Yeah, of course, I agree. I try to never forget anything, never regret anything, because you cannot change your past. So if you regret your past, then you will end up in sometimes maybe in some psychiatric hospital or things like that. All right.
Oh yeah. You don't want to know that.
Let's now talk more about Invest Diva. So you started this show, right?
Invest Diva, yeah. So we do have a YouTube channel, and the main thing is actually happening on investdiva.com, and then we have Facebook groups. It's just all over the place. It's a little bit getting out of proportion, but what it is really just education about how you can start managing, grow your family's online investment portfolio so that you can build financial security, even if you don't know any math, even if you don't have a ton of money to start, and even if you don't have much time, because like I'm a mom and I teach moms how to do it, like when their kids nap. So that is really the focus, how to do it long term, how to do it, just how to get into it without being intimidated.
Yeah, we have to educate people, because some people take loans to pay the rates or things like that. So basic mistakes. So you educate moms or parents? So only
parents, moms and dads.
Right. Yeah, it's very good.
So if you're not a parent, I mean, that's fine, but that is really my passion, especially since I became a mom. I became a mom like last year, so it's not like super crazy. So before, obviously, I was single for the longest time. I was still doing it, but now I'm kind of, because I'm surrounded by all these parents, that has kind of become my passion. But I think investment education is just for everyone. Like everyone needs to get educated. I mean, just because I work with parents doesn't mean like you should get started.
Yes, of course. Of course, I'm a parent. I may not look like it, but
Oh, you are? Oh, you
yes,
look so young. I was like, are you what, like 20
yeah,
or something?
yeah. My son is 13 years old, and I'm always 40 myself, so I may not look it, but
What? I thought you were like 21.
no, it's because of the camera.
Okay. Is that my mistake? I was like, yeah, you don't get it, like parenthood.
Right. So yeah. But people should always learn, because you can never learn enough. Sometimes I feel, I don't know who was it, and I don't know how it sounds. It's English. It was Socrates or one of the guys from ancient Greece. So it's like, it's coming like, the more I know, the less I know, or something like that.
Exactly. No. So there is, okay, if you're putting Greece over here, so I'm Persian originally. So there is an ancient Persian saying that, I mean, I'm sure maybe Greeks have it too. We always get into battles about who had it first. But so it says that, it's a little bit different, but it says the one who doesn't know and doesn't know, no, the one who knows and knows that he knows, that is like the super achiever. The one who knows but doesn't know that he knows, then that is like, let him know that he knows. Then the one who doesn't know and knows that he doesn't know, that person, and that's the majority of us, like at least he can get to the destination, he can get to the goal eventually through education. But the problem is the one who doesn't know and doesn't know that he doesn't know. You get it?
Yeah, of course. Yes. It's complicated, but
that person
I get
is just gonna be like, he's never gonna get anywhere because he doesn't even know that he doesn't know. Yeah. So that was the Persian version.
Well, to be honest,
but yeah, the more you know, the more you feel like, oh my God, I don't know anything.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I feel this when I learn about blockchain, because crypto is great, but blockchain is the real revolution. And the more I learn about the blockchain, then I know, and I should know that, and I should know that, and I need to learn this and that and that. And when will I find all this time to learn? So yeah.
Yeah, it is tough, the balance, and the blockchain side of it, that is what got me into crypto. But honestly, I mean, it's so vast. So I'm not even trying to fool anyone. Like if you come into me like, hey, how do you, like, I don't know anything about the coding. I don't know anything. I just know enough to understand that this is revolutionary, and I'm going to let the geniuses handle where it's going to go, and, making the blockchains and creating the whole technology around it.
Yeah, of course. And even observing the situation, banks are for the blockchain. They hate crypto mostly, but they love blockchain. Yeah, so
yeah.
It makes people wondering, what the hell is this blockchain? Maybe it's something connected to the banks. Maybe it's blockchain is bad, but Bitcoin is good because banks love blockchain. Yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of misconceptions about how this whole thing works. And the banks, they hate like Bitcoin, and not all of them now, they're getting a little bit more open-minded, but now they're starting their own cryptocurrencies. And heck, like Facebook is trying to now become a bank that uses cryptocurrencies. So it's just like people understand the value, but they're just they're scared. I feel like banks are definitely scared of what's going to happen to the economy and the future with the whole blockchain technology, because they're going to become irrelevant.
Yeah, of course, but I think they need to change. First, they need to get rid of this fractional reserve system, because because it destroys everything. It cannot last forever. And then before Libra project from Facebook, also called Facebook coin, banks thought about Bitcoin, and they said, okay, this is crap, we don't need it, we need to block it. And now when there is Libra, they basically say, all right, our real enemy is Facebook, but Bitcoin is okay.
But Bitcoin is fine. I know, it's ridiculous. And Facebook itself, I'm just so pissed off. So Facebook, I mean, it's good that they're bringing attention back to cryptocurrency, Facebook, but Facebook banned cryptocurrency advertising last year. Last year nobody was like, oh, because, and really the policy it's because cryptocurrencies are connected to scams. And then once they announced their own Libra project, suddenly people can now advertise about cryptocurrency. I'm like, oh, so like when you're doing it, then it's fine. If other people are doing it, then it's scam. So yeah, it's just, I feel like it's just the beginning. It's a revolution. People are getting used to it, and everyone is trying to get their chunk of it. And the big powers are trying to be as involved as possible so that they retain their power when this revolution happens. But I think that's the whole point of blockchain, though, that and cryptocurrency, that power is not belong to one monopolized entity. It's belong to everybody. So everybody is in charge. So that is what gets me excited about true decentralized blockchain and cryptocurrency.
Yeah, of course. I think maybe I will live long enough to see one global decentralized financial system. So
you're just 21. You're gonna live long enough. Don't worry.
So yeah, it is all right. Do you think that the governments will block the Facebook coin called Libra, or they will just go on and they will finish their project?
So I was actually listening to Mark Zuckerberg testimony the other day, and so majority of, at least in the U.S., majority of the Congress people were against it, against Facebook doing it. And I think that's fair because like Facebook, and I agree with them. I know a lot of people in the cryptocurrency, a lot of our figures right now who are cryptocurrency promoters, they love the fact that Facebook is doing this. Personally, I hope they don't approve it because Facebook is great at what it's not great, but at least it's doing what it's doing. It's a social media, and now it's trying to become a bank. And it's trying to become a different thing than what it is. And that, first of all, from a marketing standpoint, is never a good idea because you want to stick to what you are. If you try to like expand way too much, then people get confused. And I mean, for Facebook, it is a brilliant idea. They do have all the data in the world, and they are trying to separate themselves from a Calibra, and they have a separate entity in Switzerland. I get it, but I just don't like the idea of Facebook being the face of popularizing cryptocurrency among people. They might get passed, but I mean, Mark Zuckerberg was clear that if the U.S. Government doesn't approve of it, they're not going to do it. So that, at least he's so far committed to that. He's lied before about a lot of things, so we're not sure how he's going to follow through with this commitment that he made the other day. But so far, that's what he said. And honestly, I don't know where it's going to go. I cannot make any predictions.
Well, to be honest, I have a different point of view because I hate Facebook because of all of the censorship and things like that. But I hate banks even more. So enemy of my enemy is my friend. So
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I totally get that point of view too. And I totally get that, like, because Facebook has the power to really make Libra, accessible to everyone, because they have really the data of a third of the world's population, and that is huge. Like, that can be the first step forward into the cryptocurrency age. So I mean, in one sense, yeah, I get it, but in one sense, like, Facebook, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna make any predictions on that, though.
All right, now you've told me that you are in crypto. So do you have any favorite cryptos, or is it like you have few of them, or is it like Bitcoin, hail to the king, baby?
No, I'm not Bitcoin only. Although nowadays I'm getting a little bit more into Bitcoin. Even in my book, I talk about diversification because it's just my personality. I'm more of a conservative person, and I do think that this is just the beginning of the cryptocurrency age. I don't know. I don't think cryptocurrencies are going anywhere, but I kind of compare this to the dot-com bubble, where there were thousands of companies at the time, and now we have only a handful of them got successful. So for that reason, in order to really mitigate my risk, I have a portfolio of a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, as many as 25. I do have some favorites, but there are so many different things that I look at when I select a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, I like because, because of the message that it carries, because it's the granddaddy of them all, and because people just know it. And the marketing behind it is huge. Like, a lot of people may have not even heard of cryptocurrency, but they have heard of the word Bitcoin. So Bitcoin represents the industry. So that's the power of Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is valuable. It's not because the technology is the best. It's not because like the blockchain is the best. It's because of the message it carries, because of the branding, and because enough people believe in it. That's why I like Bitcoin. And I do have a lot of Bitcoin too.
Yeah, it was the first cryptocurrency, so it still has this benefit or bonus, however you call it, that it was the first. I personally say that people should invest in many different things. There are, I was going to ask you about, but let me first tell about my golden investment rules. There are basically 2 or maybe 3. The first one, you can only invest as much as you are prepared to lose, so never invest more than you can afford to lose. And the second one is diversify. Invest in many different things. Do not try to invest in one thing only, because you may lose everything. And the third one is good things come to those who wait.
Like, literally, you described my whole mentality. That is exactly how I invest. So I have different wordings for it. So the first one that you said, so yeah, I normally say, so the first rule, exactly. So the different wording is only invest the money that you can burn in your backyard. And number 2 is that, yeah, so diversify, which is funny because there are some investors, even Warren Buffett recently said that, oh, only the people who don't know what they're doing or what they're buying into diversify. And I think that's a complete BS, because especially when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's so new that there is no way we know exactly which one is going to be the winner. So I think diversification is key. And yeah, number 3, my different version of you said, but what you said is that patience is a profitable virtue. That's what I say.
Yeah, especially in cryptocurrencies. If people believe that we will have a next bull run and then Bitcoin will hit like 40,000 or maybe 400,000 or maybe
100 or a million, whatever. There are so many speculations.
But I should say one more thing, because I know that 95% of all cryptocurrency projects are basically worthless. So I say that after the next bull run, or maybe we will have 2 or maybe 3 bull runs more, we will have something that I call crypto apocalypse. So most projects will collapse. They will disappear, just like a dot-com bubble you've mentioned.
Yeah.
And then we will have, like, I don't know, 40, maybe 30, maybe even less, because we don't need like 100 currencies for payments. We don't need 70,000 smart contract platforms and things like that. I always joke about it. So too many.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, we need category kings in every of these categories. We need a payment. We need a privacy coin. We need a stable coin. And yeah, so each of them, the best ones are going to remain. And then the rest of them, yeah, they have to go, because like, yeah, we don't, why would we want so many different
Yeah, maybe more than 1, 2 or 3, but not 70.
I mean, it's like stocks. Like, yeah, you want to have a healthy competition, but you cannot have like 5 Amazons.
Yeah.
Like, 1 Amazon is enough, right?
Yeah, all right. So let's move to crypto Twitter, because I have seen that you publish a lot on crypto Twitter. Tell me more about, do you have any favorite people that you watch on crypto Twitter?
Yeah. So Twitter. So here's the funny thing about Twitter. I hate, like, I don't know how it works. I mean, I'm now getting it. I've been super lazy with Twitter, and one of my assistants, he's the one who's pushing me to like go on Twitter. And I think, like, among all social media platforms, Twitter is the best one for cryptocurrency, because like, you know, Instagram is full of scams for crypto. Really, anyone who's posting about cryptocurrency, almost all of them are
and
scams.
Instagram.
But Twitter is doing. I mean, I use Instagram too, but I mean, I feel like it's more like advertising, whereas on Twitter it really is genuine. There are people who are genuinely just looking to learn more and educate. So yeah, there are a bunch of people. I like Jessica Walker.
Yeah.
She's awesome. I like Anthony Pompliano. I think, like everybody, he's like the king of crypto Twitter. And I also just follow everyone who are in it, people that I've interviewed, John McAfee. Some people hate him, some people love him. uh, Bitcoin Jesus, what's his name? Roger Ver.
Yeah.
So I just follow all these people just to see what they're talking about. I follow all the CEOs of different cryptocurrency projects, like Ripple CEO, the exchange CEOs, just to see. It's not like that I love them or I hate them. It's just like I feel like they are providing great education on the field. So that's the reason why I often follow them and see what they have to say.
Funny thing about John McAfee is that I think it was 2 days ago when Mark Zuckerberg was in the U.S. Congress, and then there was this U.S. senator from Texas, and I didn't see the video. I just heard it, and wait, is it that John McAfee is talking to Mark Zuckerberg? For me personally,
he looked like him?
No, he doesn't look like, but he sounds a bit like John McAfee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but maybe just for me, but I think, my God, he sounds like John McAfee. So
really,
he was like
yeah,
slow expressing himself and very patient and things like that. So he reminded me of John McAfee.
I was watching it, so I think I didn't get the same feeling because, I know what the person looked like, so it was different. That's funny. You should tell John. I was like, hey, this is your voice doppelganger or something like that.
Yeah, all right. The reason I'm asking about Twitter is because I always try to find more girls for my High Heels of Bitcoin series. So yeah, I've been doing an interview with Jessica Walker, and maybe she will even visit us in Poland next year, because we will have a big conference called InvestCavs in Poland, in Krakow. Next year, I think it's 28th or 29th of March. It's like the weekend, and it's really huge. And she will join us, and we will have this discussion, High Heels of Bitcoin, with me and like 4, maybe 6 women. We will talk about cryptocurrencies and things like that. So I think
that's awesome. Yeah, you should definitely do that. Actually, we are doing a female crypto summit here in Connecticut in February at the University of Fairfield. So we are having some women who are based in the US. And also some of them are actually women of color, because I feel like there is a very diversified field in cryptocurrency, which I love it. So I'll be happy to put you in touch with the women of crypto who are based in the US as well. So they may be. And by the way, you're Polish?
Yes, I'm from Poland. Yes.
I didn't know. I thought you were Russian. I've been to Poland.
No, I'm from Poland.
Where in Poland?
We're very close to the Belarusian border, in the city of Białystok. So it's like 30 kilometers from our eastern border.
That's why you have the Russian accent.
Yeah.
I've been to Krakow, and I've been to Warsaw, of course, and I've been to the southern border, Wistula. That's where I've been to.
Yeah, of course, I can do Russian accent.
Yeah, you have, I was 100% sure you're Russian.
No. I think a Russian accent is a bit stronger, but
maybe.
Yeah, it's
right,
because of the throat, I think. So
yeah.
So I don't get a lot of time to speak English. So it's not like I have to learn, because I read English books and things like that, but I don't get to talk a lot. So High Heels of Bitcoin is my very good to talk to the people. All right, you have mentioned a conference. Can you tell me more about the conferences? Do you participate? Do you like only in the US, or you travel worldwide?
So it really depends on what it is. With cryptocurrency, I've been mainly in the US. I've been doing some conferences for banks. I was at a TD Ameritrade keynote speaker. This next week, oh my God, it's next week already. I'm going to Chainsaw event, with Crypto Pro, and he's having an event in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this one, the one that I just told you about women in crypto, this is going to be at a university in the state that I live in the US, which is Connecticut. It's in Fairfield. So this university is kind of forward-looking, and they wanted to educate their students about cryptocurrency. So we kind of suggested, hey, why don't you have a cryptocurrency summit? So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to be one of the panelists. And Actually, one of my assistants is in charge of putting it together and inviting all the women in crypto who can come and talk.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So I try to participate in as many events as I can, but we don't have many of them in Poland, especially when 2018 was much better. I don't know why. In 2019 we've started like bull market, and then Bitcoin rise from 3k to 13k, and then it collapses to 8k, and then people start around, no, I didn't invest because it was it was too late, because the funny thing is, when Bitcoin was 3k or 5k, no one wanted to buy it. No one cared. It will collapse. It will drop to 1k, 1000, or things like that. And then when it hit 10k, people started wondering. They started buying Bitcoin. And when it was 13k, it was like, all right, all in, let's buy. It will be 20, 30, 50.
It happens every single time. Like, that is just the craziest thing, that human psychology. And I try to teach this to my students all the time. And it happens to everyone. You do panic, like, especially if you have skin in the game and the market drops. It's so hard to push yourself to say, oh, okay, I'm going to buy, because everybody is doom and gloom. But you have to understand that what goes down, what goes up must come down, and vice versa. And when it's cheaper, it's not the time to panic, it's the time to buy. And it's with every market. I mean, I know that Bitcoin is more volatile, so you feel it more, but every market is the same. People get excited way too late. They get excited when it's reached a peak, and then they just panic and they move away when it falls. And it's just it's a mental education that that is one of my main things that I teach my students. And you talked about patience, and that's what it is. No, don't panic when the media tries to make you panicked. So the media buzz is always like, oh, Facebook is doomed, or whatever, like the stock is doomed, is dropping. So everybody gets scared, so they don't get in. So that is the time that you should go against the crowd. That's what I talk about. You got to go against the crowd. When people are panicked, you should be bold. You should be strong and courageous and go and buy. When people are super excited, you should sit back and just don't do anything. Because like humans, they just do the same thing over and over again. It's human psychology.
Yes, of course, because your mind, your emotions can be your biggest ally or biggest enemy. And I always say to people, when everyone panics, you should buy. When everyone is in euphoria or things like that, then you should start selling, because it will end soon and it will collapse. Yeah. And when Bitcoin was reaching its all-time high, people thought, all right, we have like 20k, it will hit 30 or even more. We will see. It will never stop. It will just go to the moon, and then...
It never happens that way.
Yeah, of course, I completely agree. Okay, let's move on. Tell me more in just... I know our time is almost up, so let's quickly tell me about your plans for the future. Do you have any goals you want to achieve?
Yes. So my main goal right now is actually, I mean, cryptocurrency is awesome, and I'm planning to remain in it. But my main goal with the Invest Diva movement, that I just created this term around the investors. So you got Invest Diva over here. So the Invest Diva movement is to really help as many as people as possible to get educated about investing, learn about all these things that we just talked about patience, about buying when the markets drop, about actually getting started and starting their own accounts. And so that is my goal. My goal is to help 1 million people start and manage their investment portfolio. So that is the goal. I don't have a time frame for it, but I'm going to say 5 years.
Yeah, so that's a great goal. Yeah, 1 million people. My God. All right, last question is, let's leave crypto, let's leave investments. Do you have any hobbies, things you do outside of your job?
Yes, actually right now I can hear, I'm having a play date in 2 seconds with my daughter. So the people are walking through my door, I can't see them. So my hobby is spending time with my family right now. I try to spend as much time with family as possible, whatever it is. Whatever my 1-year-old demands me, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, family is the most important thing in life. So yeah. you may lose your money, you may lose your health, but family, good family will always be there for you. So
That's what it is. And time is the most valuable thing. So I try to
yeah.
make time as much as possible with family. So that's the end goal for me, really.
All right. Thanks so much. I know your time is up, so I won't waste any more of your time. I hope we will talk in the future someday, maybe.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Thanks so much and goodbye.